me and Justin's videos were #1 for such a long period of time. They're always asking us to do more videos. And we had our studio set up at our last place when our lease ran up. It was by surprise. They were great landlords, and they were always up front that they might need the space. So it took us a year. We were in storage. All of our stuff was in storage for almost a year. And this took a lot longer just because of inspections and things like that, because it was a new building. But we finally got the studio up, got the rolling camera above, like a lot of high level stuff when it comes to doing videos and critiques on fights. Like that's something I want to get into too, is understanding the relationship with coach and athlete, like watching fights. I did that for ESPN for a good period of time, but then COVID came and they wanted me to come out for earlier in the week, and I trained athletes. I just couldn't do it. So I stepped away from that, but I liked being able to critique situations. If I could tell my own story on where I learned from this, when I was doing on ESPN, I did good at it, but I never like to critique someone or you go, hey, they should do this better or this, unless I can tell a story. Yeah. Because there's many pieces. There's one where a guy forgot a mouthpiece, and I was like, dude, I've done that twice. I had one guy, Verto Phillips, we were fighting Corey Spinks in boxing and a Don King card, main event in HBO, and he's out there moving, and I see him in the corner. He's in the opposite corner, but on my side. And I look down, and there's just slobbery mouthpiece sitting on my thigh, and there's like 45 seconds left of the round. And I'm like, oh shit. And I'm like, if I stand up, I don't want them to stop the fight, because if you stand up, a lot of times the ref will be like, oh, stop the fight. And then I hear him go, and he's from Brooklyn. He's like, damn, T. And I'm like, shit. And he looks at me while he's blocking. He looks at me, and then he walks back to the corner. And I was like, dude, I'll never let it happen again. And he's like, damn, man, I'm going to lose my fronts. He sits down, and I was like, dude, don't worry, it won't happen again.
This is coming out of your cut if I got to.
This is fucking awesome. So then it's like, hey, we all fuck up. There's so many times I fucked up as a coach. Then I forgot a mouthpiece in Memphis, and for the same guy, I would pack his shit for him. He'd stay at my house for camps, like high-level guy, 4-time world champion.
Yeah, Vernell was awesome.
Yeah, Verto Phillips, yeah. And so I pack his mouthpiece, I pack his cup, I pack all of his stuff, his gloves that we're going to hit mitts with. And we're out there, and he asked me, and I remember having all laid out in my closet for, while I was going to pack it. And I remember it sitting there, and he's like, you didn't forget my mouthpiece, right? And I was like, and it's fight day. And I'm like, no, not at all. And I was like, all right, I'll see you in a little bit. We got 4 hours till we go. And I run back there, and I'm like, dude, I don't know if I grabbed it from the closet floor. And I went back, looked through I started throwing everything around, and I'm like, fuck, I don't have his mouthpiece. And it's fight day. Yeah. And I remember going down, and we had to go to Mississippi. I asked a cab. I was like, dude, I need to go to a sports place, like a Walmart. Get me to a freaking Walmart. I get it at one of those little kids. And he liked like the cheaper mouthpiece. Yeah. And he's like, there's no Walmart here in Memphis. There's one in Mississippi, but I can't leave because I'm a cab driver. I was like, dude, I'll give you $200 right now. He's like, oh, okay, cool. Dude, we go out there. Dude, all they had was the one that connects to a football helmet, so it's got the little piece. So we had to cut that off. He had to go use his little tea kettle to warm it up. Yep. And I remember his mouthpiece falling out that night, and he's so fucking tough, like so cool. It like knocked out of his mouth. He caught it while he's in the combination, put it back in, keeps punching. But funny story. There's 2 mouthpiece stories. Yeah. From the same guy. But if I can critique things, I always want to bring my own stories and my own fun to it. Absolutely. Because I'm never critiquing a someone to be like, oh, I'm a higher level coach. Yeah. I'm critiquing you from the times that I'm going to tell you a story where this happened, because if you can make a traumatic situation, because it's traumatic when you're trying to take care of an athlete and you fail for them, it's traumatic. Because it's again, you feel like you let them down, and they're the ones taking punches. So if I am able to critique things in a fun way and talk good stories, if I see something, I'm like, oh, I remember a time when I did something like this. Let me tell that story, just so I'm letting you know that I'm not saying this to say I'm better than you. This is where we grow as athletes, and this is how I've grown from that, because those types of situations help you. I think it would be very, very, very good for a lot of coaches out there, and a lot of coaches do look up to me, and I do mentor a lot of coaches. So I think that would be a fun way to open up and really open up the dimensions to this sport from a coaching standpoint.
Guys, thanks so much for watching the clips. If you would like, please subscribe. Also, if you'd like more clips like this, click here. Or if you'd like to enjoy this whole episode, click here.